Leo, this is going to be your monthly read for March. Thank you for tuning in to Mantra Flower Tarot. Looking forward to knowing what March is going to bring to you. Intuitively, what I'm feeling is that March is going to hold an introverted kind of energy where you're going more within. What they're giving me is like a hermit card here. A lot of introspection, a lot of, you're not necessarily happy or sad, you're just going within a little bit more, or that is something that's going to be required of you, is to really go inside of yourself, connect with your higher self, examine your inner child, strengthening your intuition, following your inner guidance, things around there is intuitively what I'm picking up energy-wise for the month of March for you, Leo. Let's go ahead and get started here. So first out we have Tower, and second we have Hierophant. And then next we have our Ten of Wands. And finally we have, and this is going to be like the first part of March, your energy going into March. Oh, so we have the Hangman and then it flipped back over. So there may be like a resilience or a hesitation to create a new perspective on something, or that's usually letting you know that this is something that you've already accomplished or something that you are going to have to accomplish. Okay. We have our Queen of Wands, and then a couple cards for starting March. So I'm going to keep shuffling, letting the cards fall out while I begin to go into the reading here. So what I'm seeing is for the beginning of March, it looks like you're coming in, something drastic might have happened in February, because your energy entering into March is a change that maybe you didn't see coming, or you knew it was coming, you just didn't know when or how, and the universe kind of came down and created that kind of change for you. But I'm getting after this change, it does allow you to have maybe higher levels of commitment to something, which may be like addressing some of the burdens or some of the stressful situations going on in your life. So this might look like starting March off with, ending a relationship. But because that relationship ended, now you have to learn how to budget your money and really get more responsible about things that maybe your partner took care of for you. And because you're addressing those burdens and you're able to carry them, you're going to be coming out more victorious and confident within yourself, your skills, and your abilities. And that's also going to allow you to move forward in the situation as well. Because once you start to learn how to be independent, how to do things that you rely on others for, it creates a lot of room for you to have options. Oh, I don't know if you guys see that or not, but the shell kind of moved over there. So this could be an energy of, that's kind of letting me know is like you're falling off the horse. It's going to hurt. You're going to fall down. You're going to make mistakes. But it could be that these things that you need to learn, the burdens that you need to learn how to carry on your own, those new skills, tasks, objectives, things that you need to learn on your own, they are for your highest good, but you're going to have to fall off the horse first. So it looks like that's what the universe is doing at the beginning of March, is it's really pushing you off the horse. It's creating a need for you to learn how to handle things that you might rely on others for a little bit too much. And ultimately, you're coming out more victorious and confident for knowing how to do those things. You're coming out more successful, okay? Going into the second part of March here, which is going to be the middle of March, we have our first two cards out here, the Fool and the High Priestess. Just starting off looking at those, it does look like once you're in a more confident place, you're realizing that you are capable of much more than you might have realized you're capable of. You begin to take chances and risks and leaps of faith that maybe you avoided in the past, or that you might have had a little bit of hesitancy going towards just because you weren't sure if that's something that you would be able to handle. But you are being pulled to take chances and make sure that these chances you're taking are things that you actually want to do. So I'm getting it's a lot of aligning with your purpose here, aligning with things that ignite your passion, that create interest for you, that are truly meant for you as far as making you happy, making your life feel more complete and whole, enjoying life more. But once you obtain that Queen of Wands energy there, where you're very confident, you're very self-assured, that's when you're able to happily take risks, and the universe is pulling you toward those risks. But you're going to intuitively have to figure out and go within if this is something that is meant for you. So you may be faced with many opportunities here, and you're going to have to go within to really figure out which opportunities align best with me, which opportunities are truly going to make me happy. They're telling me that you need to think long term here, not use your short, impulsive kind of energy for this. You don't want to do anything or start anything that is not going to be fulfilling for you in the long term here, okay? And what it's letting me know is with that death is that you need to sometimes we pull things out, we exaggerate them, we take too long, not to just make a decision, but once we've made that decision, sometimes we take a little bit too long acting on that decision. So what it's letting me know is as soon as you realize that something is not for you, Leo, you need to cut it off. You need to stop giving your energy to it. You need to release it from your energy, period. Do not keep entertaining it. Do not keep trying it. If you know it's not meant for you, leave it alone. And you will intuitively know that as long as you go within to connect with yourself and your purpose, okay? Ending March, we have the Eight of Swords. I don't read reversals, so I am turning that back upright here. Then we have our King of Wands, our Knight of Pentacles, and our Justice card, okay? So Leo, it's letting me know by the end of March, there might be a situation that you did not release fast enough. You continue to entertain it, and it's a situation or a thing, a project, a career, a relationship that you revisit because you feel bound and stuck to it, okay? You're feeling, trapped is obviously a good word to use for the Eight of Swords, but I'm not getting a trapped energy. I'm just getting that you're not sure how to let go of it. You don't know how to move on from it. You may have made the mental decision to release it and let it go, but I'm getting that there's a situation here that you are not sure how to move past that situation. And ultimately, what it's going to do is put you back into a King of Wands energy. So the Queen of Wands is much more external, okay? For me, the queens are always external. That's about what you give out to the world, the energies that you're protruding out into the world, the energy that you use to interact with people, the energy that people see you in. The King of Wands, or all kings for me, are more of your internal energies. Those are the energies that people may not understand or see, but they're more of your own thoughts, feelings, beliefs, about things. But the kings can also turn into more of a negative energy, and the fact that that did come out in reverse, and I am kind of feeling that kind of energy, could be exactly why that card came out in reverse. So the energy I'm getting from the King of Wands is that because you're feeling like you don't know how to move on, it's kind of creating upheaval within yourself, and you're trying really hard to stay in this Queen of Wands energy. But what it's doing is it's raising your ego very high. It's allowing your ego to come out, so you're acting out in ways that you normally would not act out in, but people are perceiving you to be maybe a little too harsh or a little too forward. They're perceiving that you are, they're perceiving your ego. They're being exposed to your ego, and I don't know that you realize it. I think that is your own way of trying to handle the situation, but what's happening is your ego is coming out a lot more towards the end of March while you're trying to figure out the correct way to move forward in this situation here. But it does look like once you have that feeling of being kind of stuck and bound, not unsure of how to move forward, and that ego kind of does come into play here, and the people around you may begin to feel that more, even if you don't feel it, what happens is that you do ultimately decide to move forward on creating stability for yourself. This could be in your career, in your finances, your home life. You're choosing to create a change here. You're no longer allowing the universe to come in with that tower moment, because you're understanding that it is time to move forward, it is time to change something. What's really sticking out to me and what they're telling me to notice is that it is a black horse. I'm not sure why they're telling me that. I know the death card has a white horse, and so I'm feeling what it is the black horse is meant to represent the end of something, the coming to an end, the removal, the negative energy. You're choosing to move forward in a new direction. You're leaving that energy behind, okay? And then ending, we have the justice. Once you finally decide to move forward and move past it, that is when you will receive justice. Whether that's this person or situation getting the karma, you getting your karma, things balancing out for you, the scales balancing out, something around that, okay? So even though you might be coming in with like a poor perception based off of others because of the situation at the end of March, you ultimately do decide to move forward from this energy and focus more on your stability and your finances, things like that. And that is when justice comes in. That is when I believe the new opportunities is what I'm feeling comes in, where you are going to start seeing how you can move forward without feeling stuck. The next deck that I want to use here is going to be the Dark Mirror deck. This is just to highlight any part of your shadow self that maybe is not being addressed or seen or understood. And this is where you can focus some of your intention and energy into addressing that shadow part of yourself. We all have shadow selves, and the main thing with shadow is it's not meant to correct. You're not meant to go in and be like this perfect person and not have any shadow. The shadow, when you feel and learn more about your shadow self, that's actually when you can get closer to self-love and appreciation overall. You want to learn how to accept your shadow self. Sometimes we have to see it and know what it is in order to accept it, in order to learn how to love it. You should love all parts of yourself, Leo, the light and the dark sides. Neither is negative or positive. Those are all kind of words that we associate with them, but it's not necessarily negative or positive. We have a light and a dark side, and that is just who we are. So we have to learn to love that and embrace it and use it in a positive, healthy way. The card that came out for you is the Gilded Regret, okay? And that is number 5. So definitely lots of changes happening in March for you. I do see that. And I mean, how could you not see that with the Tower moment as the first card for starting March off? What I'm getting with the shadow side of this is that I think that you feel regret sometimes, and that is fine. But what happens when you feel regret is that you don't properly address it, Leo. What's happening this month is when you feel that regret, that's when that reverse King of Wands energy comes out here. That's where you try to cover it up. You don't want anyone else to see or think that you're in this regret energy, this low energy. And so you're acting out in ways that you normally wouldn't. And that's why people are perceiving you as being like this egotistical tyrant kind of energy here. That's not who you truly are. But I think instead of facing the regret, that's how you're choosing to deal with it, is by covering it up, okay? So that means one of the things you may want to focus on this month. Learning that regret is a lower energy, and it's not necessary. You should never regret anything, because we cannot change the past. We can only change the present and the future, okay? We cannot change what has already happened. So to stay in an energy of regret and constantly think about if you did the right thing, or maybe you should have done this, or you approached it the wrong way, going through questions like this and reanalyzing it, it's going to pull you into a lower energy, and you want to raise your vibration. You want to raise your energy so that you can move forward in a positive way here. And the best way to do that is just acknowledging that you cannot change what has already happened, but you can learn and grow from it and create and react and do things much differently now that you've had that lesson, now that you've seen where maybe you should have held back on something, or you should have put more effort into something. That regret card allows you to truly see the growth, the lessons that come with everything that we do. So don't regret it. Use it as a learning lesson and move forward with that new knowledge. The last card I want to pull here for you, Leo, is the Divine Abundance deck. It is my favorite deck. But this is going to be your overall advice for the month of March. So we have the energies, those darker energies that would be helpful to acknowledge or to work on, those unseen kind of subconscious energies here. And the Divine Abundance is going to show you what your overall energy is going to be, not energy, but advice for the month of March. We have gratitude. Fill me with gratitude for all you give. May I be a vehicle for you wherever I go. And that's going to directly correlate with that, with the shadow side, with regret, right? So you want to learn to appreciate those experiences that come your way, even if they don't feel good, even if they leave you in the energy of feeling regretful about something or looking back on the past in a negative way here. At the end of the day, everything that we go through is a part of our lesson. It's meant to help us grow. You cannot grow without being uncomfortable or without being in front of challenging things, okay? We have to experience these things to allow our soul to grow and to move into a higher vibration and energy. Otherwise, we're going to be stagnant and not move forward. It may not feel good now, but in the month of March, there is a lot of changes, sudden changes, and it's things that you're probably not going to want to deal with or confront, but ultimately you will realize how to move past it. And the best way to do that is going to be with gratitude that you experienced the situation and now it's time to release it and move forward. That's all I have for you, Leo. Have a good month. Bye.